Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome back to Being Cosmic. If you're new here, welcome. I do collective readings, so with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. For this one, I actually already pulled some cards. I wasn't fully planning on doing a reading. I was just looking through, I was kind of setting the space and clearing my cards and stuff, and these ones popped out and I was basically told to do a reading. So I'm excited about this. This seems like it's going to be a really cool reading. So let's get into it. I'm going to take a step aside and let spirit pass through. Okay, so the first card that came out was the third eye chakra. So you could be actively working on opening your third eye, or just tapping into those other extrasensory senses. And with the first few that came out, we have third eye chakra, the portal keeper, soul star chakra, and the crown chakra. And with all of those are all of our higher chakras. So the soul star chakra is also known as the higher self, higher star. There's a couple other words for it, but basically it sits right above the crown chakra, about, I think it's like 6 inches above. And that's really when we're getting into a space of channeling, or when you're really in that flow state and it feels like somebody else is kind of taking over a little bit, or it feels like your higher self is really coming through, or you're really accessing the divine. That happens through that soul star chakra. That higher crown. There we go. It was the higher crown chakra. And so the crown chakra sits at the top of your head. And that's really when you're connecting to the divine. And then when you're really allowing source to flow through you and you're really, really in that flow state, that's where that soul star chakra comes in. And so with all of these being kind of the main focus over here with this portal keeper, what I'm really getting is you might be at this point where you're starting to access other realities, other realms, other dimensions, whatever you want to term it, but it's really being able to contact and access those otherworldly beings and the kind of the otherworldly experience. And when you're in this portal keeper energy, what you're able to do is you're able to either see, so like clairaudient or clairvoyance. Sometimes you can hear, which is your clairaudience. We have other clairsenses as well. So you've got clairaudience, clairsentience, clairvoyance, claircognizance. There's a couple other ones, but basically it can be smelling something that quote unquote isn't there. It can be tasting something out of the norm randomly. And what that is our being is able to access other experiences, basically, like other experiences that are happening in like a parallel reality, or an overlay. You can kind of think of it as an overlay. And when we're starting to activate our actual physical being and being able to do this on a more intentional level, that ability just gets stronger and stronger. And so sometimes it'll be like the knowing that is one of the ones that really starts, or that you'll notice has been there, your whole life, where you just have this knowing, your intuition. Then all of a sudden you might start hearing other things. And then the clairvoyance is one that there's some that have been clairvoyant their entire earthly experience, but that one is a little more tricky, I guess you could say, because we've got so much programming around seeing things that aren't there, and then there's so much pressure on being able to see otherworldly things. And so it's, I really want to see my guides, I really want to see fairies, I really want to see dragons, I really want to see, elementals. And with that actually creates a lot of resistance, and so that can block it. So with that, with these ones being activated, I'm getting that a portion of you probably are having visual experiences at this time. And then I'm getting that there's another few of you that are really trying to see things. And with that, a few tips and tricks on that. One, do your best to just allow it and allow it to happen in its own time. Always protect yourself first and foremost. Make sure you're in an aligned state. Make sure you're in an intentional state. Make sure you're not just open to anything and everything. So that's first and foremost a big part of this. Then after that, you can do things like binaural beats. You can use crystals. Any blue, like indigo crystals are going to help with this. Sodalite, lapis lazuli, there's so many. But then you can also use crystals like selenite or moldavite. Those ones will also help you to activate those higher chakras and really open your third eye. And with that too, if you're starting to open your third eye, you might feel like a pressure in between your eyes. You might kind of get like this weird, it's almost like a headache. And of course, with that, if you're having like physical experiences, check with your doctor first. You know, that's one of those disclaimers that I have to say. With that though, just know that there are physical symptoms that do occur when we're activating and opening chakras and when we're going through upgrades of them. And so when you first start to see with your third eye, it evolves the more tapped in you are and the more you work on it. And then also the last card that came out was the sacral chakra. And so with that, the sacral and the third eye are connected. And so, I mean, all of our chakras are connected, but there is a direct correlation between the third eye and the sacral. And so what that is it's being able to see from other realms, basically. And then using the sacral chakra, that's when we're in our creative energy, our sexual energy. That's at the it's basically right between like the groin area and this belly button. That's where the sacral chakra sits. It's also very connected to our reproductive system. And the color is orange for the sacral. And so with that, being able to see and then come down in our body and create, that's big time where those are connected. And so with this, what I'm picking up is that you're probably in this space of pulling in this otherworldly energy and information, and then you're starting to bring this into the physical with the way that the cards were laid out. So the middle cards here that came out, we have Journey to Wholeness. And what this card is she's kind of like this hybrid being, and there's some nudity on it, so I can't show you the card. But what it is it's this beautiful woman who also has like octopus arms, and like the lower half is like an octopus. So there's a hybrid energy here. And what this speaks of is deep healing and integrating the full whole self. The next one that came out is Water, which is the overflow. And so this is this is a very abundant energy. And so this is accessing all of that source energy and bringing it through our vessel in a very clear way. You can see she's got like this clear portal energy open throughout her, like from the crown all the way down. And then she's got this overflowing of abundance in all of her arms. And so you're really in this space of you're activating this extreme abundant energy and this overflow of divine energy right now. This one is balanced forces. And so what this is talking about is the full balance of the masculine and the feminine energies within the self. So this might be something that is either happening, or you might be in this space where you fully have these two energies balanced and working in union with each other. And then the last one that came out was Internal Explorer. And so with this, I'm picking up a lot of deep inner work at this time. I'm picking up a lot of, so the internal explorer kind of reminds me of almost like a hermit energy as well, where you're really going within and you're really tapping into these abilities within the self. And this is a beautiful space to be in. This is when we're really accessing our gifts, when you're really accessing that divine experience and embodying that full energy. And then with the sacral being the last one that came out, again, what I'm picking up is that you're really at this space where you're pulling in this energy and using it in a very creative way. If you're not right now, then that would be what this message is guiding you to do, is all of this energy that you're accessing. It's fun and it's exciting to be in this place. And, it's something that is sought after, especially in the spiritual community where you're having otherworldly experiences and you're connecting with other beings. And it's really fun. It's really exciting. But also the coolest part about being a human, or one of them, is being able to access all of this at this energy and then pulling it into the physical by using it in a creative way. In whatever way that is for you. That can be, any form of art. That can be speaking, channeling, obviously with art, painting, drawing. It can also be like poetry, songwriting, singing, dancing. It's all of these ways that we're able to use the human vessel to express our creative energy. And so with that, I was being called to take one more card. And so the one that came out was surrender. I was seeing it's kind of on the gray area of nudity. There's nothing like vulgar. I'll go ahead and show it. It's more of a silhouette. So with this surrender, being your last card here, what I'm picking up is you're in this space of fully integrating the self, doing a lot of healing with this journey to wholeness. You're in an extremely abundant energy, and this can be abundance in all forms. But then with this going within and balancing that masculine and feminine side of the self, the easiest way to do that and to really allow these energies to fully flow through and like create in that sacral space is going to be the key here is to surrender. And when you're surrendering things like attachment to the outcome. You're surrendering that ego part of the self that's like, I need to have my third eye open and I need to see things and I need to have all these experiences all the time, or I'm not that spiritual. Surrendering all of that actually allows those experiences to come in easier and more frequently. And then also surrendering things like attachment to the outcome is going to allow you to really harness that creative force and to bring it through in a very mind-blowing way. When we're in this surrender space and we're accessing this energy and then we're creating with it, oftentimes what happens is, I'm going to use painting for an example. All of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm going to paint this thing, and then you start painting, and then halfway through, oftentimes what happens is it's like, this looks terrible. And then you can enter the flow state where you're really pulling in all of this energy, and then you just get into that flow state and you just paint and paint and paint, and then all of a sudden it turns into like your own little masterpiece. And you'll look back at it later and just kind of be mind blown of the fact that I did that. I pulled that through. I was able to be the vessel to put this onto a canvas. And this can be in any other way. This can be whatever outlet you have. But really allowing yourself to be in that surrender state is where you can fully pull it through and fully embody that creator energy of being a creator. And so being in this energy is, this is such a fluid, flowing energy. It's very high vibrational. I'm getting like that, the jolts of of energy running through when I'm tapping into this. So this is like very high vibrational. You're accessing that otherworldly energy. And if you feel like you're not in this right now, this is what you're stepping into. And just get ready. This is a really beautiful place to be. It's really fun. It's a very aligned space. And the only thing that's coming through as far as like a recommendation is to just continue with your healing. Continue integrating all those parts of the self into one full being. And then to just be mindful to keep the masculine and feminine aspects of the self balanced. Sometimes we bounce back and forth between if we're in more of a feminine, flow receptive state, or more masculine, directive, like action state, but it's a balance. And so being able to, tap back into those, that's when we're really just in this balanced state. And then we're able to bring through, masterpieces of creation in whatever way that is for you. So yeah, just continue to surrender, allow this to flow through, and definitely share with me what you're creating at this time. I'm really, I love seeing people in this energy. It's so fun. So definitely let me know in the comments below if this is your energy, and if so, where you're at in this space. Whether you're starting to activate the third eye and the soul star chakra and, access your internal portal in the self, or whether you're, fully in this space of surrender and creating. I would love to hear it. And so with that, I just felt the energy leave a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this here for you. If you like this, feel free to hit the like button. If you haven't yet and you like the way that I read, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. And I will see you on the next message. And stay well, stay creative, and stay flowing. Awesome. Thanks. Thank you for being here.